I grew up here. I'm a woman. I'm a gay woman. My mom's a Jew. My dad's an Arab. I have a black kid. And believe it or not, my son is half Latin, even though he doesn't look like it. I hold a million cards in your game of woke victimology poker. And when I leave California, maybe you've lost your mind. Just maybe. Like, when you have me running from home, maybe it's gone way too far.
What was the line? Like what was it?
My God,
I guess
girl,
the
there's
end for
not
you.
enough time. And I actually take this line from Bill and Elon Musk, and they're like, I actually haven't changed.
Yes.
The world around me is shifting, and I haven't moved. So some of these laws that are passing here are absolutely fucking mind-boggling in relation to crime, protecting our kids. Like, we're decriminalizing everything, which arguably I would probably be okay with, but we're not regulating any of it.
Right.
So it's like, okay, you're gonna decriminalize sex work, but only so women can legally loiter on the streets. Like, not to keep them safe, not to have them pay taxes, not to make them, regularly check for STDs, not to take away the pimps out of the equation. It's the, like, if you made that argument to me, I'd be like, well, yes, we want, of course. I mean, I could be liberal. I could go there with you. But I grew up this way. But when it's like, oh, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass a law for LGBTQ rights so that 24-year-old men can sleep with 14-year-old boys and not have to register as a sex offender because it's just not fair to the gays. I'm like, what? It's what? Like, I don't know if you saw that one. That was like, I think early 2020 when they passed that law. And so I was like, if a 24-year-old man touches my 14-year-old son, I will get a gun and take matters into my own hands.
Yes.
Like, are you kidding? Or the fact that a 12-year-old child can be put on off-label cancer drugs to irreparably change their body. Again, if my son came to me and said, Mom, my daughter, I think I'm trans, I'd say, okay, like, you want to dress this way? You want me to call you whatever the heck you want me to address? Fine. Explore it. I love you. I'm cool. Like, do you, as long as we're safe. But we're not changing your body until it's fully developed. I'm sorry. Conversation's over. Can't get a tattoo.
Exactly.
Are you crazy? It's insane. Like, I just can't. It's madness. It's madness to me. I could go on and on and on, and it's madness. I don't know what's going on here.
The only word that I've been able to come up with in thinking about it and thinking about it and reading about it and tweeting about it and saying, don't tweet that and all of it is evil. Maybe it depends on your belief system, right? But to me, there's no other explanation because it doesn't make sense. It's not good. It's not healthy. It's not backed up scientifically.
I can tell you. I actually have an answer for you. Hold on. Let me play this one out for you. Okay, so here's the problem. I'm gay, so I get a card, and I can say what I want. I'm like, no. I have a letter in your acronym, so sit down. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
I'm allowed to say, this is batshit. No. A straight person who might turn around and be like, this seems really crazy. Transphobe.
Oh, I'm a transphobe, according to Megan Rapinoe.
Okay.
Yes, she has literally called me that because of the transgender sports issue, which has science behind it. But because I said, let's save them in sports,
behind it,
then I'm a transphobe.
Sports
so go.
is biological.
And it's beautiful that way, by the way.
The thing of it is, you can transition, absolutely. You can change your hormones 100%. But if you look at someone like Fallon Fox, for example, who was an MMA fighter, right? Since, I believe has since retired or is currently retired. I don't believe Fallon Fox transitioned until well into adulthood and was literally cracking skulls. I know. I'm not exaggerating. So at the end of the day, when you have decades of androgenic hormones and you're biologically a man, you're going to have more muscle, improved bone density, better height, greater reach. There's a reason that it's like, oh, so-and-so just won the swimming thing. Oh, and the boxing thing. Oh, and the biking thing. Oh, and the powerlifting thing. I mean, again, and where people struggle is that it isn't fair, and we love black and white. You know, it has to be all good or all bad. And it isn't fair to somebody. You know, somebody isn't going to win here. So the issue is trans athletes have nowhere to play because there's not enough of them to have a league, right? And then you've got the millions of women that can't compete. So someone's going to get screwed and no one knows what to do with it. And then if you say, okay, no, this isn't fair, you're transphobic. And that's how every conversation is systematically shut down. And you really also have to look at who's behind it and why.
Well, that's a very, very
look
deep
at
issue.
the pharmaceutical industry
Correct.
and how much they're making on transitioning children.
Yeah.
And then they weaponize, I swear to God, and this is not, people love to say, oh, tin hat, Jillian claims, Jillian assumes. I do none of that. Do your own homework. I ask you to do your own homework, not to believe me, but to do your own homework. So they weaponize these civil rights groups, like the HRC, the Human Rights Campaign, I think it is. And these guys will then go out and give you, what is it, a health equity and inclusion? I think it's like an HEI score, but don't quote me on the score, but you get a score, right? And if hospitals are willing to transition children to get behind it, then you get a low score. It's
the way
really
that they're
diabolical.
incentivizing people to say, yes, 12-year-old, go ahead and make this decision.
And if you don't, you then get labeled
and even the financial aspect, which, I mean, when I go back
billions of dollars.
Go back to the COVID years, the beginning of COVID,